It all started because there were a small group of children and their families that we refused to give up on. As a result of our efforts, Chaddock has now served children from 29 states throughout our country. Not only that, but our children have come from 18 different countries of origin. In our organization, financially, we're larger, stronger, more diverse, and better able to respond to the emerging needs of children and families. Now, we didn't take an easy path. In fact, when we started, there were a lot of really smart people who thought we were a bit crazy. Truth be told, along the way, there were days when we agreed with them, but we stuck with it. And today, Chaddock is living proof that it is possible to narrow your focus, broaden your market, and extend your mission reach. Now, I will share some of the specifics of Chaddock's story, but the exact path that we took is not the real point here. The real story is that you can focus in on a niche market and really increase your impact as an organization. There were two main factors that led Chaddock down this path. First of all, as I mentioned, there were a group of kids that our very successful program was just not reaching. Many of them were post-child welfare, post-institutionalized children, and the techniques that we were using really weren't working on these kids, and we weren't willing to write them off, that there was no hope for them. The second matter we were looking at operationally was we had great charitable support, but in our fee-for-service revenue, well over 90% of it was coming from a single funding source, our state's Department of Children and Family Services. Now, being an old farm girl, I really wasn't comfortable having all of our eggs in that very volatile basket. And so considering those factors, we made a decision that we were going to invest in a depth of knowledge in one specific area. In our case, it was developmental trauma and attachment disorders. Now, we knew in looking at the situation that there was a market for this, looking at the number of adoptions that were disrupting nationwide and the lack of support there was for families to prevent those disruptions. But we also knew that in our local area, we didn't have an economy of scale, enough kids in our area to make that work. And even looking at our funding stream, there was probably not an economy of scale within that. But we knew there was a market there. And so we started to look in new ways to serve the kids that needed it and to find funding streams that would fund it. Now, we didn't have a grant or a contract or a large endowment that helped fund our program development, but we had something better. We had a group of long-term, dedicated staff who were on board and made the decision that they wanted to set business as usual on its ear to help this critical group of children and families. And that's exactly what we did. We built a program based on what families needed, not what organizations or contracts were willing to fund. And we experimented and we put our best strategies out there and adapted as we learned more. We measured and then adjusted, just as you should do in any pilot project. And we started making breakthroughs with these kids and families. Now, we had a double challenge because we weren't only innovating programs, we were also innovating in terms of referral sources, in terms of funding sources. So we embraced strategy, we embraced marketing. We reached across industry silos to piece together what our children and families needed. And how has it worked? Well, you've seen how far our reach has gone. As an organization, we're more than double in size what we used to be. And that has allowed us to create and pursue new opportunities. We've served 3.5 times the children that we served prior to having this focus. And as an organization, we are diversified, we're strong, and you know what? That's not just about Chaddock. Any organization can do that if they choose to focus and look at a niche. It's not for everyone, but we're here to solve big problems, and sometimes you have to use counterintuitive thinking to do that. Why should we present at the national conference? Because this opportunity that worked for us may be just the thing to help another organization fully extend their mission reach. Thank you.